Stormy Daniels' lawyer, Michael Avenatti, may have just tossed his hat into the ring, tweeting today, quote, "If big, he seeks re-election, I will run, but only if I think there is no other candidate in the race that has a real chance at beating him. We can't relive 2016. I love this country, our values, and our people too much to sit by while they are destroyed." Hashtag Fight Club, hashtag Basta. Joining me now live is the man himself, Michael Avenatti. Thanks so much for time on this July 4th.
Happy July 4th, Jim. Thanks for having me.
So I'm going to start very basic question. Why would you be qualified to be president?
Well, I think I'd be qualified because I have three things that this president lacks, Jim. Brains, heart, and courage. And I think I have those in spades compared to this president. And I am deeply disturbed at the direction that this country is taking. I'm deeply disturbed by what's happened most recently with separating these mothers and their children. I think it shows a complete lack of compassion. I'm deeply disturbed about our place in the world. I think our allies are very concerned about where America stands. I'm deeply concerned about these trade issues that the president has taken on, and I think ultimately are going to cost American jobs. And generally speaking, I love this country, and I'm very concerned about where we're going.
Fair points, and all due respect, but keep in mind on all these issues, you would be joining a race that has, well, at least not officially declared, but a number of U.S. senators and governors who are putatively throwing their hats into the ring. How would you measure up against them in light of the issues you're talking about? If you're talking about international trade issues, the national security threats facing this country today, how would you make a credible case to voters that you should be the commander-in-chief?
Jim, all of the experience in the world isn't going to be worth anything if you can't beat this guy. And I'll tell you this, I think that Donald Trump is an exceptional campaigner. I think he has very good political instincts, and I think he should not be underestimated. And if you want to know how he stacks up against traditional politicians with long track records and long voting records, all you have to do is look at the 15, that's not one, that's not two, 15 candidates that he beat on his run to the White House. The bottom line is there's two questions. Number one, who can beat this guy? And number two, will they be better than he is if they are elected? Those are the only two questions, in my view, that matter.
Let me ask you this, because I want to read a tweet of your own, and this just from Sunday. So 3 days ago, you said the following then: "I am extremely flattered by the suggestions that I attempt to become AG, that is Attorney General, or run for the House or Senate, but I have zero interest in those jobs, none. I don't want to become a career politician. We have too many as it is." It's quite a change in 72 hours. What led to the change?
No, it's not a change. I didn't say that I wasn't going to challenge the president for the presidency of the United States. Bottom line here, Jim, is if he is reelected, this country is in a world of hurt, in a very bad place. People are upset about the potential that he's going to nominate a Supreme Court justice to replace Justice Kennedy. Well, let me tell you something. The next president of the United States, whoever serves after 2020, likely will have a chance to appoint 2, if not 3 additional Supreme Court justices. That is a big deal for the future of this country.
No question. Well, I want to turn now to a case, of course, you're familiar with, involved in, and one involving a Mr. Michael Cohen. You may have noticed today that he deleted his biography from his Twitter profile, which used to read, "Personal Attorney to President Donald Trump." That is no longer there. You had some comments earlier in the week with him seeming to distance himself from the president. In your view, is he indicating that he'd be willing to cooperate with prosecutors, perhaps against the president, or, as a lawyer, do you see him throwing up a trial balloon for a pardon from the president?
Well, I think, frankly, he's playing games with the American people, Jim. You know, there's nothing stopping Michael Cohen from being a patriot and coming forward with what he knows now about the president. He does not have to wait for charges to be filed. He does not have to wait to be indicted. And I think what he's trying to do is he's trying to be half pregnant, if you will. He wants the support of the American people, but he doesn't want to distance himself too much from the president. And you can't be a fence rider in this situation. He either needs to step up or step out.
Right, and tell the truth to those prosecutors.
Correct.
Turning to another topic, we were speaking about the possibility of running for president. Of course, you would know, a presidential run, any political run, you would face a lot of scrutiny. Bankruptcy records, as you know, show that your former law firm owed the IRS about $2.4 million in back taxes, penalties, interest. That's still, those records show, has not been paid off. Can you run for president without settling that issue?
Well, Jim, we expect that issue to be fully settled shortly. I don't owe anything personally. You know, look, I'll be happy to put my tax records and my background up against the president's background and his tax records. Of course, he won't release any of that information. I don't know how many times he filed for bankruptcy. I've never filed for bankruptcy personally, but I am interested in talking about ripping kids from the sides of their mothers. I am interested in having allies laugh at us around the world. I am interested in where all those jobs are that he promised Americans in key electoral states. I am interested in pro-choice and a whole host of other issues. So look, I hope somebody that's competent enough to beat this guy, and that's the question, who can beat him? I hope that person steps forward. If they don't, I will.
Well, you've already learned the art of the good pivot there. So Michael Avenatti, thank you for coming on, and sincerely wish you a happy 4th of July.
Same to you, Jim. Thanks.
This is CNN Breaking News.